Bring us up to speed, first of all, about what is happening in terms of the spread of the virus. There was some good news a few days back suggesting that at least in the Lombardy region in Italy, we are seeing signs of stabilization. But Spanish numbers continue to climb and climb very, very fast at this point.
Exactly. And what you see in Italy, of course, after 2 days in which the number of deaths had dropped, then we had U-turn type move in terms of cases and number of deaths to yesterday. So that ended that 2-day streak of those numbers climbing or falling, I should say. And what you see is that still it's very volatile, and it's still too early to say Italy has peaked. Everyone wants Italy to peak because that means everyone else is close to peaking too, and that would signal we're gone past the worst of it, but we're not there yet, and the data does show it's still volatile. When you look at Spain, that is almost becoming the other big shift in Europe, where you have 50,000 cases, where you have the number of deaths really rocket, and that curve is actually moving very quickly, and it's not going to end. That is almost the indication that we had from the government, kind of saying this is going to be a very difficult week. Today's probably not going to be the worst of it, and we should really be ready for that. What that means for the economy, of course, is that everything has shut down, and it's probably going to be shut for much longer than we anticipated. And yesterday, which I thought was very interesting, the French Scientific Council came out and said, actually, the way we see it is that this is going to take at least 6 weeks, and we should all factor that the lockdown will stay until the end of April, which is much longer than any government has said until now publicly.
I just want to point out that Spain's Deputy Prime Minister has now been tested positive for the coronavirus as well, Maria. So another blow to Spain, with one of its top officials now positive for coronavirus, the Deputy PM Calvo. So, Maria, many finance ministers, heads of state around Europe sent a letter today begging for there to be some kind of joint effort, maybe a corona bond or the like. It seems like Germany, as we know from Olaf Scholz's interview just a little while ago, and also the Netherlands are objecting. What's the major objection? Why are countries just at loggerheads about this?
Exactly, and that is really the focus now. I think everyone has now agreed, and everyone operates on the basis that this is going to lead to a recession. That is no question. This is going to really hurt every country in Europe. And the only question is how bad is this going to be, and how long is this going to take for everyone to bounce back from it. There's a number of different ideas that have been floated. There's countries like Germany that will tell you we believe a credit line may be enough, and we'll do this in a way that is big. The amount will be big. Yesterday, the Eurogroup said we could even consider 2% of GDP for every country to tap into this, and that should help. There's countries that will go further and tell you, okay, but anything that's a credit line means that there has to be conditionality pegged to it. For the Italians, just to give you an example, that is a no-go, because it means there's a political stigma that will come with that. They don't want to be seen as almost being bailed out. And the more dovish countries, which now also include France, will tell you we have to think outside of the box, and we have to go beyond that. And that means a corona bond. For Germany, until now, that was a no-go. It's a red line. It's never something that they have seriously considered. But I do have to say the debate around it has shifted, and you do see more countries openly kind of saying, let's just look at it. And really, we're going to need this because the crisis is much more serious than anything we've anticipated.